Hello everyone, my name is Annabelle Harris and I'm here to speak on the achievement gap in our community. Before I begin, I want to thank our families, friends, teachers, students, and stakeholders who have joined us tonight in the fight to end the achievement gap in our dear community. The achievement gap can be defined as the disparity in economic achievement between students from high and low socioeconomic status backgrounds, according to Anna K. Chmielewski in her article, The Global Increase in Socioeconomic Achievement Gap, 1964 to 2015. This has been something that has been prevalent in our society for many years. But how is this something we can fix? Is there a special recipe that we can mix to help our students in lower socioeconomic levels to achieve more? This is something that's been on my heart since I decided to make the move into the education field and also growing up in Memphis, Tennessee. While the most common achievement gap thought of is one of race, it can be any group where one group outperforms the other. The gap I will be focusing on is the socioeconomic status between African Americans and their racial counterparts here in the United States. They have continuously held the highest achievement gap over their Asian, white, and other racial counterparts. This is especially true in underserved communities, and it is usually minorities who face the achievement gap head-on. They face challenges that I, daily as a white person, cannot even begin to fathom. In education, this is especially true. Schools in predominantly minority communities are struggling to close the gap that was forced upon them. They do not have access to the opportunities in schools predominantly white communities are able to have. Growing up as a white woman, for example, I was afforded the opportunity to choose what I wanted to do in school, whether that was band, choir, theater, music, or sports. Many students don't get that choice as their schools can't afford to have those options. Every child is born with the ability to learn and achieve, but few will be able to get to develop that ability due to the experiences that they had growing up. There has been some research into how we can close the achievement gap as a society. One way I will discuss is to create quality, accessible free preschools for every child. Many parents are unable to afford quality education before kindergarten, and many children matriculate into kindergarten lacking many skills, according to Carrie Mesrobian in her article, What is the Achievement Gap and Can Quality Pre-K Help? In her article, she speaks to Dr. Elena Hilton, the founder of Seraphim Educational Consulting. Dr. Hilton states, options such as Montessori, Waldorf, Reggio Emilia, Forest Preschool, or bilingual preschools may not be available, or the hours of operation, half days, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., are not conducive to working families. Therefore, lower and middle income families in the U.S. can only afford certain types of programs, many with poorly trained staff. This only furthers the gap to a quality education before elementary school. Universal preschools with quality educators and hours that fit a working schedule can make a huge difference in the lives and skills of young children. Another way we can combat this achievement gap is to close the teaching gap. In her article, Want to Close the Achievement Gap, Close the Teaching Gap by Linda Darling Hammond, she states, in short, the survey shows that American teachers today work harder under much more challenging conditions than teachers elsewhere in the industrialized world. They also receive less useful feedback, less helpful professional development, and have less time to collaborate to improve their work. Our schools are hurting. Our teachers are hurting. Teachers lack the time and mental health to fully prepare our students for the real world. If we invest back into our teachers will invest back into our students. To combat this, we can give our teachers a livable wage equal to the work and the schooling that they have put in. We can allow them time to fully plan and execute lessons during the school day and have our children be caught up. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected students in many ways, but it's also affected our teachers. Our teachers deserve to have a livable wage, to have reasonable expectations, and support from administration and school districts. Our teachers are developing the future in our children. We must take care of our teachers who take care of our kids. Between access to quality preschools and taking care of our teachers, we can begin to close the achievement gap that is affecting our students daily. We must fight for our children to have equal rights in education. In his article, The Economics of Inequality, The Value of Early Childhood Education, James Heckman states that the logic is quite clear from an economic standpoint. We can invest early to close disparities and prevent achievement gaps, or we can pay to remediate disparities when they are harder and more expensive to close. Either way, we're going to pay, and we'll have to do both for a while. Thank you.